Yep.
So be sure and stick around. Right now, Julia,
Yes.
what do you say that we bring in our fall cinnamon swirl bread loaves from Jenny Lee?
Best idea you ever had.
Oh, well, I'd like to say it was my idea. It's not at all, but it's Jenny Lee's classic swirl bread. Now, this is amazing stuff. You can choose 4 loaves of their best-selling classic cinnamon. You can do 4 loaves of their cinnamon raisin, or you can do their brand new flavor for fall. It's called cinnamon apple. Already limited, and fewer than 800 in the cinnamon apple if you're ordering 4 loaves of just that brand new flavor. What you should also know, we had this on earlier during Gourmet Holiday, so 1,200 ordered for the day. You should also be aware that these ship ambient. Now, ambient is a fancy word for room temperature. So you're gonna get these on your front porch at room temperature. Can you freeze them? Yes, you can. But will you want to toast them, make sandwiches out of them, make French toast out of them? Do a bread pudding with them, please, 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 and invite me, I'll help you eat it. And if you can't decide on those flavors, how about a combo? Now you'll get 2 loaves of the classic cinnamon. Why are we doing 2 loaves? It's their best seller. Then we're going to add in a loaf of the cinnamon raisin and the brand new cinnamon apple. Joining us is the man that started this company, and I'm not telling you a story, his last name is Baker. He bakes bread for a living, and his last name is Baker. His first name is Scott. Scott, it's good to see you again, buddy.
Hey, David. Welcome to McKee's Rocks. How you doing, my friend?
Well, we're well on this end. We hope you are doing well.
Doing fantastic.
Fantastic. This was on earlier today. Tell us how this bread company got started, and talk to us about Jenny Lee. Is the name significant to you and your family?
Sure. Yeah, so Jenny Lee is our brand. My company is called 5 Generation Bakers. It's a literal term. I'm the 5th generation of my family in the business. I'm the spinoff of Jenny Lee. Jenny Lee was a retail bakery, full line. They sold cakes, pies, everything, you name it, in Pittsburgh, but was a victim of a fire in 06 and then the recession in 08. Helped my parents close up. I'm like, you know what? My grandfather started over because his grandfather had a bakery in the west end of Pittsburgh. In 2010, we opened up to make Jenny Lee cinnamon swirl bread. It's a recipe that literally has been handed down from my great-great-grandfather to my great-grandfather, to my grandfather, to my dad, to myself. I am so blessed to continue our family in this tradition. It's so much fun. I love baking, David. It's the biggest passion I have.
Well, then that last name is not just a coincidence. It was meant to be.
It's not.
Yeah, the Yiddish have a term for that. It's beschert. It's meant to be, right? Come on now.
I think we really were the village bakers back in Germany back in the 1800s.
Oh my gracious! Just so incredible. Combo is most popular, and that's never a surprise. If you want just 4 loaves of the cinnamon apple, I have fewer than 500 remaining. Now, Scott, talk to us about the bread. When it's shipped to us, it's shipped room temperature. So can we leave this on our countertop for a certain amount of time? Do you suggest getting it right into the fridge or the freezer? What's the story?
Oh, for sure. You know, it's an all-natural bread, so eventually will stale, but it's got a good shelf life, a week to 10 days. If you're going to consume it in that time, keep it on your countertop. If it's going to take you a little bit longer to eat it, put it in your freezer. Just pull a couple slices out at a time. You can put it right into the toaster oven or let it sit for about 10 minutes to just warm up and be reconstituted. You can dip it in egg batter to make French toast or eat it straight from the bag. Absolutely.
Julia, have you ever had the swirl bread? Would you like some more? Yes, I thought you might. All right, you come over here, and I'm going to have a little piece of the cinnamon apple. This is worth every carbohydrate.
Can I have that, please?
Of course you may. Help yourself.
Yes. Hi, Scott. Good to see you again.
Hey, Julia. How are you?
I'm so good, especially since you bring
the cinnamon apple is so good, too. Oh, my word. And little bits of apple in there, right, Scott?
Oh, for sure, yeah. You know, we actually put applesauce into the dough, but we also put chunks, real chunks of apple. They are sourced from Washington State, the best apple state in our union. It uses a combination of Granny Smith, Golden Delicious, Fuji apples. They use the best apples that are grown in Washington and dehydrate them and send them to us here in Pittsburgh.
That's working out just fine for
I
me.
asked Julia, how's that working out? She said, oh, just fine.
Just fine.
Just fine.
You know what I love about this bread? You know how so many people, like when I was a kid, I wouldn't eat crust. I wouldn't do it. But the crust, like that's where the journey begins. Because even the crust has all that cinnamon and sugar, and it just, the journey explodes. And then depending on what flavor you have, wow, those apples really come through.
Do you know how that cinnamon sugar sticks to the crust?
How?
Tell us, Scott.
It starts with a butter bath.
Wait, you dunked the whole loaf in a butter bath?
That whole doggone loaf in a butter.
Oh my
Yes.
gracious.
Yes.
And
We
now
do
the
have a
world makes
video. I'm not
sense.
sure if they're going to show it tonight, but that video shows the
We have
process
some
of our
video,
plant,
yes,
how
sir.
everything's added. Here we go. Yeah, it's this is just an amazing. I get to work with these people every day. This fun environment where we're literally making bread the old-fashioned way. We let fermentation do the trick. That fermentation is creating acids and alcohol in the dough that imparts a better flavor texture to the dough. And then we sheet it, put the cinnamon sugar in the middle. You should see here the process of how we get the swirl. And once the bread is baked and then cooled, that's when the magic happens. Julia, wait till you see this shot right here.
Julia, there it is. Butter bath.
I'm going to take a butter bath when I get home from work tonight.
And then
That's great.
they roll it
Yes.
in the cinnamon sugar.
Yes.
The cinnamon sugar.
Sugar. Oh,
And
Cinnamon
then
sugar.
they cut that bad boy up.
that looks so
But
good.
not before it goes into a butter bath.
Butter bath.
Right. Right.
My shoes would taste good if I put them
I
in a
think they
butter
would.
bath.
I'd probably eat them too.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
Oh my word, Scott! I can tell you that these have been very popular. In fact, now for the day, over 2,000 sets are gone. Almost
That's
1,000 in
fantastic.
this show, and our combo, no surprise, is the most popular. 2 loaves of the cinnamon swirl, 1 of the cinnamon raisin, and 1 of the brand new cinnamon apple. Scott, I apologize, we're all out of time, but it is great to see you again, buddy.
Yeah, you as well. Take care, everybody.
Be well and be safe, pal. All right, Julia's going to update you on something. I'm going to get ready for a special presentation for an item we had not planned to have in the
Yeah.
show.